21, 2024 quick snap. In a recent meeting with bankers, Dr. Ehsan Mansour assured them that interest rates will be market-driven. He also mentioned that contractionary monetary policy will continue and that the government may consider raising the policy rate in phases. Bangladesh Bank will also no longer provide any special liquidity support to ailing banks and has already suspended providing it to some banks. Lastly, on the trade front, the backlog at Chattogram inland container depots continued to persist. The number of export containers at the depot is nearly double the usual amount, and there is rising concern regarding export delays. News items exchange. Interest rates to be market-driven. Bankers are assured that the money market will function freely based on demand and supply, sans too many interventions like in the past. New Bangladesh Bank, BB, Governor Dr. Ehsan H. Mansour gave the assurance Monday to top executives of a group of leading commercial banks, now that banking and financial sector passes through changes under the interim government. About the monetary policy aspect, he said the governor told them that the contractionary monetary policy will continue in the coming days to contain the higher inflationary regime. Regarding the widening difference between the policy rate and the rate of government securities instruments, he said the government made a hint that it would lessen the gap through raising the policy rate in phases. No special liquidity for ailing banks. No more liquidity feeding to problem banks. Bangladesh Bank will no longer try to save any ailing bank by providing its special liquidity support, said Governor Ehsan H. Mansour yesterday. The central bank has suspended its special liquidity support for some Sharia-based banks, he said at a press briefing after meeting with a delegation of the Federation of Bangladesh Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FBCCI, at the latter's office yesterday. 7 banks, including 6 Sharia-based banks, have been facing a deficit in their current account balance with the central bank for more than a year. He makes it clear that the central bank wouldn't opt for any desperate remedy like shutting down banks or printing money to feed them to keep alive. BB dissolves National Bank Board for third time. Bangladesh Bank, BB, has dissolved the board of the troubled National Bank for the third time. In an order issued by BB Governor Ehsan H. Mansour, the banking regulator said it has dissolved the bank's board for the sake of the depositors' money and public interest. The BB said the financial condition of the bank deteriorated due to the board's failure in taking policy decisions. Workers' outflow rises. 30 PC in unrest hit July. The outflow of workers increased last month, July, compared to the previous month, despite the country witnessing severe unrest mainly in the second half of the month amid students' anti-discrimination movement. Data released by the Bureau of Manpower Employment and Training, BMET, showed 71,441 Bangladeshi workers found jobs abroad in July, rising 29.78% from 55,045 workers in June. Administrators take charge of DSCC. The newly appointed administrators of the 2 Dhaka city corporations took over their responsibilities on Tuesday, a day after the interim government dismissed 12 city mayors, including those of DNCC and DSCC. However, the government is yet to make any decision regarding the councillors. Assuming the responsibilities, Dhaka North City Corporation, DNCC, Administrator Mahmudul Hassan, and Dhaka South City Corporation, DSCC, Administrator Dr. Mosher Ali vowed to ensure providing uninterrupted services to the citizens. Both of them are additional secretaries of the local government division. CTG ICDs unable to shake off backlog. Exporters fear order cancellation though more than 2 weeks have gone by. The pressure on private inland container depots, ICDs, in Chattogram has not decreased yet as the number of export containers at the depots are still nearly double the usual amount. The depots are now experiencing a major backlog, causing delays in meeting shipment schedules. Export goods that arrived over 20 days ago are yet to be shipped, according to depot owners. They said the bottleneck at the depots and the port was mainly due to the recent anti-discrimination student movement during which port activities were disrupted in 2 phases. According to the Bangladesh Inland Container Depots Association, BICTA, the number of export containers at private depots typically ranges from 7,000 to 8,000 TEUs, 20-foot equivalent units. However, since August 6th, this figure has remained at an elevated 14,000 to 15,000 TEUs. BB increases foreign currency support for energy import. Bangladesh Bank has increased its supply of foreign currency to the Energy and Mineral Resources Division to continue its import of petroleum fuels and gas from abroad, and also from locally operating foreign companies, reports UNB. According to officials, the Energy and Mineral Resources Division has been getting more foreign currency support from the Bangladesh Bank to pay to the foreign gas and petroleum suppliers. The remarks from the Energy Secretary came against the backdrop of the government's outstanding bills with the foreign gas and fuel suppliers, which recently exceeded more than $500 million. Summit reviewing cross-border power deals after India rule change. Bangladesh's Summit Group plans to renegotiate preliminary deals to import renewable power from India after a recent rule change by New Delhi allowed generators that exclusively export their electricity to sell locally, the utilities chairman said. India amended its power export rules less than a week after Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina fled Bangladesh early this month amid deadly protests, enabling Adani Power to connect its Godda coal-fired plant, the only generating station under contract to export all its output, to India's domestic grid. Energy crisis to be RMG's biggest hurdle post-LDC. The ready-made garment, RMG, industry leaders in a survey anticipate that energy crisis is going to be the biggest hurdle ahead for business in 3 years ahead of the country's expected LDC graduation in November 2026. Meanwhile, today's biggest issue for business is reportedly customs hassles and high prices of gas, electricity, and water, adding to their financial woes. Where utility costs are expected to ease over the years, low pricing from global fashion brands compared to competitors is also a key concern for entrepreneurs in the post-LDC period. Metro team starts work on maintenance. Finally, the Metro Rail's operation and maintenance team has finally joined work as they withdrew strike on Tuesday, thus giving signs of resuming train movement on the Uttaramodagal route from Sunday. We have joined work as the prime demand for addressing pay disparity has been approved by the company's board on Monday, said one of the strikers. Bank accounts of former BSEC chair, his son, 6 others frozen. Shareholders linked to SLM Group barred from selling bank stocks. The Bangladesh Financial Intelligence Unit, BFIU, has issued an order to freeze the bank accounts of 8 individuals, including former chairman of the Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission, BSEC, Shibli Rubiatul Islam, and his son Juhair Shurar Islam. The securities regulator has imposed restrictions on purchase, sale, and transfer of shares by the entities of SLM Group, its owners and family members of 6 banks. 5 of the banks involved are listed on the stock exchanges. To this effect, the Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission, BSEC, issued an order on Tuesday. Sonali Bank chairman resigns. Ziaul Hassan Siddiqui has resigned as chairman of Sonali Bank, following protests by its employees. Dr. Yunus to attend BIMSTEC Summit in September. Chief advisor to the interim government Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus is likely to attend this year's BIMSTEC Summit, scheduled to take place in Bangkok from September 2nd to 4th, highly placed sources said. Dr. Yunus is expected to depart for Bangkok on September 3rd and return on September 5th. A senior official from the Foreign Ministry, who was aware of the development, told the FE on Tuesday. Gold price hits all-time high in Bangladesh. Gold price in Bangladesh has been raised again. The price of the highest quality 22-karat gold has been increased by BDT 1,517 per bori, 11.664 grams, setting the new price at BDT 124,502 per bori. This marks the highest gold price in the history of the country. The price hike is attributed to the increase in the price of pure gold, acid gold, in the local market. The new prices will come into effect from Wednesday, August 21st, as announced by Bangladesh Jewelers Association, BAJAS.